Now we continue reading a hero of our time while some good man is making the garden. Sorry about that. In vain, after 1 month, I got so used to the buzzing and to the nearness of death that really I paid more attention to the mosquitoes. And I was even more bored than before because I had almost lost my last hope. When I saw Bela in my home, for the first time I held her in my lap and kissed her black curls, I, fool that I was, imagined she was an angel sent me, sorry. I, fool that I was, imagined she was an angel sent me by compassionate fate. I was wrong again. The love of a wild girl was little better than that of a lady of rank. The ignorance and the naivete of one pall on you as much as the coquetry of the other. I still like her, I suppose. I am grateful to her for several rather sweet moments. I am ready to die for her, only I find her company dull. Whether I am a fool or a villain, I don't know. But of one thing I'm sure, that I also deserve pity, even more perhaps than she. My soul has been impaired by the fashionable world. I have a restless fancy, an insatiable heart. Whatever I get is not enough. I become just as easily to sorrow as to delight, and my life becomes more empty day by day. There is only one remedy left for me, to travel. As soon as I can, I shall set out, but not for Europe, God preserve. I shall go to America, to Arabia, to India. Perchance I may die somewhere on the way. At least I am sure that this last consolation will not soon be exhausted by the help of storms and bad roads. She went on like this for a long time. His words became engraved in my memory because it was the first time that I had heard such things from a man of 25. And I hope to God it may also be the last. What a strange thing would you be so kind as to tell me, the junior captain continued, addressing me. You've lived, it seems, in the capital, haven't you? And not too long ago. It is true that all the young men there are like that? It is true that all the young men there are like that? I replied that there were many people who talked like that probably there were some who were telling the truth. That, on the other hand, disillusionment, like all fashions having begun in the upper strata of society, had descended to the lower, which were now wearing it out, and that nowadays those people who were really bored the most tried to conceal this misfortune as though it were a vice. The junior captain did not understand these subtle distinctions. She shook his head and smiled slyly. It was the French, was it, who introduced the fashion of being bold? No, the English. Ah, that's how it is, he answered. Well, they have always been inveterate drunkards. I could not help recalling one Moscow lady who maintained that Byron was nothing more than a drunkard. But then, the junior captain's remark was more pardonable. In order to abstain from liquor, he naturally tried to convince himself that all misfortunes in the world come from drinking. Meanwhile, he continued his narrative as follows. Kasbich did not show up again, but somehow, I don't know why, I could not drive the thought out of my head that there had been some reason for his coming and that he was cooking up some trouble. Well, one day, Pecorin began persuading me to go boar hunting with him. For a long time I kept refusing. After all, a wild boar was not novelty to me. Nevertheless, he did succeed in dragging me off with him. He took half a dozen soldiers with us and left early in the morning. Until 10 o'clock he poked around in the rushes and in the woods but found not one brute. Hey, how about turning back, I said. What's the point in persisting? It is obviously our unlucky day. But Pecorin, despite the heat and fatigue, did not want to return without a kill. That's the kind of man he was. Whatever he set his heart on he had to have. You could see he had been spoiled by his mama when he was young. At least at noontime, he, we tracked down that damn. But sorry, at last at noontime, we tracked down that damned boar. Bang, bang went our guns, but it was not to be. The boar escaped into the rushes. A hero of our time.